own time, your own business, then other people will respect it, okay? So it's very important to go for close. Now, why is it important to go for close? I'll give the story to you. Once upon a time, there's a very rich Texan. I mean, he lives in Texas, multi-gazillionaire, okay? And he's a little bit bored with life, and he wanted to do some experiments. So he has a big, huge Olympic-sized pool, and he decided to throw a big, huge party. But the night before the party, he decided to throw a lot of alligator and water moccasin in the pool, okay? A bunch of them. So the next day, when the party begins, when the guests start arriving, a lot of people start arriving, so he gathered everybody at the pool, around the pool. And he would say, listen, whoever is daring enough to jump into the pool and able to swim across the pool and come up alive, I will grant him or her anything he or she want in life. Before he even stopped talking that, he heard a loud splash. There was a guy in the pool, and the guy was like on an Olympic record, you know, because why? Because water moccasin and alligators chasing on his tail. So he was swimming across the pool in record time. He came up from the pool, all, you know, shaking all the water, and this multi-billionaire walked up to him, so excited, run up to him, says, sir, can you tell me what is it you want? I will give you anything you want in life. And this guy says, before you give me anything I want in life, I want to find out the name of that dude who pushed me into the pool. So sometimes, somehow in our lifetime, we all need a little nudge. Because 18 years ago, if the person that taught me in the beginning in this industry, he didn't push me, I would have never got started. You know, after I got signed up, that's exactly what I said. Would you like to put in your MasterCard or your Visa? And he was like inching in on me, right? And I'm like, what, you know, why are you closing on me? And so anyway, long story short, I signed up. The first thing I did is I went home. I still remember that day. I was so gung-ho. I was so excited. Then I told my sister about it. And, you know, because I respect her and I love her. And, you know, out of the kindness of her heart and her mind, and she thought she had touched upon MLM in the past, and she gave me a whole lecture why I should not do network marketing. And she goes, if you're smart, you will pick up that phone and you're going to cancel your application. Now, I'm sure a lot of us have faced that because people love you. See, people say that not because they are devious or anything, no, because out of the kindness of their mind. See, a lot of people go through life judging life by their past experiences and their past failure. And they care about you, so they think that that's something not for you based on their own judgment. Well, I was very, very tempted to cancel. I actually called the guy and said, you know what, I'm having second thoughts. I'm having cold feet. I said, I don't know if something, I said, I just got laid off at my job, and you know, at that time it cost me a couple of $100 to get started. This is not exactly a small amount. And he says, listen, before you cancel, why don't you go to a training? Why don't you attend a training? Then we'll talk. So that's when I began to plug into the system. I attended training. I built my own belief structure. So thank goodness I didn't quit. See, if somebody didn't push me, I would not be where I'm in life. I don't know where I would be. Some of my college friends, you know, I still remember, I call all of my college friends. Some of them went to UCLA with me. Some of them went to UC Irvine with me. I called all of them. And you know what? They were so negative. So Kim has lost her mind. This lady is college educated, graduated, very good grades. Why is she doing MLM? You know, maybe she got laid off and she really lost her mind. And so they were all laughing. They were all, not one joined me. They were all laughing at me. But you know what? I said to myself, I said, look at who's going to get the last laugh. Some of those friends nowadays, they're unemployed. Some of them are still complaining about their job. Some of them are not where they want to go in life, and they already given up in fighting for what they had once dreamed of. They had given up what they had wanted at one point in their life, that they thought they could be somebody, and they've given up in life. But so thank goodness I didn't quit. So if you really believe the thing when you come to close, if you truly believe that this is an opportunity of a lifetime, if you truly believe this product can actually save other people, if you really believe the opportunity can touch people's life, you have no problem closing. None. But you got to get out the paperwork. Don't be shy. Just listen. Great, I'm going to show you how to get started. Don't be afraid to ask for the sale, because the worst thing you can get is what? Is a no. But there is a power in asking. Because if you don't ask, you don't what? You don't get. You don't ask, it's an automatic what? No. But if you ask, there might be a chance you get something. Samson and I went to buy this camcorder because we decided to record this thing for the business. You know, we realized that we need to have a system so that we can have people outside of LA can grow the business. So we were at the Sony store in Costa Mesa, in South Coast Plaza. Sony store. Well, they were saying, if you buy 2 more items, you get this thing off, 15% off. I said, well, what about the other items? They go, no, only one. I said, no. Can you give me, 15% off everything? Everything? And you know what? Well, let me try. So long story short, I got 15% of everything we bought at the store. The power of asking. You got to be willing to ask. Look, if they say no to you, what do you get? Automatic no. But if you don't ask, you will never know anyway. The other thing, very important, so on Mastering Basics, is always be in phase 1. What is phase 1 activity? I want you to go back and think about on your day 1 of joining the business. When you first joined the business, what did you start doing? You started sharing, you started recruiting, right? That's called phase 1 activity. You were excited. Now, I need you to be in phase 1 activity for at least 1 year. Phase 1 meaning what? Excitement, your enthusiasm, your recruiting, your building. A lot of people don't succeed in this industry. You know why? They go from first 2 months, then phase 1. First month in phase 1. Second month, they go into management mode. You know what management mode? They started managing their downlines. That's not your job. They're all independent business owners. They do not report to you. Don't go manage them. The only person you can manage is whom? Yourself. Look, we're all independent business owners. Stop going to management mode. Hey, you need to come to the meeting. Hey, you need to do this. That's called babysitting. When you babysit, what do you make? You make babysitting wages. See, your job is to look for people that are willing to do the same thing and want the same thing. If not, you're going to drag a whole bunch of stuff up the tree. It's very tiring. How many of you have done that in the past? You kept calling the same people. They keep telling you the same thing. Stop those management mode activities. You got to get on phase 1. Phase 1, recruiting. I am still recruiting. And when Samson and I were at the store yesterday, did I recruit the guy? Yeah. Why not? The guy's a double engineer major, okay, graduate from Fullerton. And Samson says, what are you doing at the store? Selling camera. You know what I'm saying? He's looking for an opportunity. But you got to find a way to recruit, to pique their interest. Did I say anything? You asked Samson. Did I say anything about Luminous? No. Did I say anything about Gen S? Did I say anything about Reserve? Nada. I said, listen, you are such a nice guy, give me all this discount, okay? We have something for you. We want to take care of you. You call us. If you're looking for a way out, so he talked about his job, and so we said, if you're looking for a way out, we got something for you. Get the information. Now, so you got to go on phase 1. Phase 1 activity is very important. If you only keep on, the first month you recruited, and you bang on the people that you recruited make your fortune, golden rules. The people that joined you, this is very golden. The golden rules when you start building a team. The people that are with you today, trust me, some of them will not stay. It is okay. Let it go. Our job is to go out there and identify the people that want the same thing and willing to do the same thing. Not just say, I want to make $20,000 a month. And yet they're not willing to do the work. Okay? So phase 1 activity is very important. Any questions so far? No? Okay. So phase 1 now. The other thing I want to touch upon.
How long do you think is the phase 1 honeymoon period?
Honeymoon period or phase 1? I would say if you really want to succeed, phase 1 at least 1 year.
Okay.
Now, but what I mean phase 1 is this. You always recruit. I'm always recruiting. I'm still recruiting. Okay? But when you have people as a leader, when you recruit it as a good one that they really want it, they're really active, they have strong desire, then you chase them. You work with them. You tap their network. Because this is very important. You are phase 1. Now see, When you first join the business, 100% of your activity is phase one, recruiting, recruiting, recruiting. But once you got some people going, guess what? You got to support your team. Now, if your team wants it, see, I'll give you an example. And before, 5 years ago, I started a business, the previous company. I called 202 people, 202, 203 people. 185 say no. Okay? 17 said yes.
Did you use your phone book to have the numbers?
Warm contact. All of my contacts. So that actually is a whole different training. Family, anybody that you know by first name basis. You got to do some memory jogging, okay? When you run into people, you start putting them on the list, okay? So that's a whole different training on a new. We're gonna have a different kind of training on recruiting, but anyhow, I'm just gonna give you a set of statistics. Start with 202 people. I sponsor 17 people the first 2 months. Then after that, the next year, I have no time to sponsor anybody. You know why? From 17 people, I have one and a half person working. One was Robert. The half was Tina. I call her half because this person that brought her there wasn't really working in the beginning. So she was the other half that's working. And through these 17 people, they all live in California. Guess how many countries went into? 200 plus countries. From the 17 people leveraging effort, guess how Group the Big went over? 200,000 distributors. When you have people that are working, they kept me so busy. Meeting after meeting, meeting after meeting. I mean, I was doing meeting and training, meeting and training, meeting and training. I have no time to recruit. See, that's good. When you have a group that keeps you going, that is okay. But when your group is dead, you don't want to babysit. You go recruit some more. Okay? So this is the statistics, guys. You have to accept it. The golden rules. That your job is go out and sort and look for the right kind of people. And the way we sort, it's a sorting game, guys. And we're gonna call people, and I'm gonna give you a quick example of sorting. Okay, we call people, we sort people. Just, for the sake of it, for simple to understand, we call people apples. Okay, and there's 3 types of apples. There's red apple, green apple, and rotten apples. Okay, 3 types of apples. Now, our goal, our job is to look for red apples. Red apples, red, delicious, juicy. They're the one that's fun and say yes to your business, okay? The red apple is like people that are willing to do the work, they're excited. These are what you're looking for. The green apples, the one that they're not ripe yet. They have a lot of questions. Question after question after question after question. And they will find different forms of questions to ask you. In the same context, okay? So the green apple, people have questions. Now the rotten apples are the ones you want to stay away from. The rotten apples are what we call dream stealers. Not only will they say no to you, they'll be nasty about it, okay? So let's say that you are at a supermarket and there's a whole pile of apples, okay? Your job is to look at the apple and put in your basket and you to pick up red apples. Now this is what happens when in reality when we go recruit, when we go build. When you pick up a red apple, red juicy apple, what you do? You put in your basket. Then when some of you reach out and find a green apple, you know what some of you will do? You will talk so much. Hey, green apple, wake up, turn it to red. It won't. When you put a green apple, you can say when you have time, you can spend 20% of your time with the green apple. But 80% of your time with the red apple. Because sometimes green apple can turn into red apple later. Once you answer all the questions.
Miracle.
Now, when you reach in the pile and you reach and you got a mushy, gushy stuff and you pick it up, it's a rotten apple. What do? Are you going to say, rotten apple, please, please, be well? It won't. It's a rotten apple. What you do? Throw it away. But too many times people get so attached to the rotten apple that you try to save it and you try to save it and before you know it, that rotten apple got to you. And you got rotten with it. The stuff that they say, it began to make sense to you. And before you know it, you go down along with it. But our job, this is how you not get emotional attached to it. Your job is to look for red apples. People that want red apples, people are excited, people have enthusiasm, people have the right attitude. People want to do something with life because there's so many people out there, they want nothing out of life. They are happy with whatever, that's fine. But you want to look for people that want to go somewhere in life. So you're out there looking for red apples. Okay? So what did I do? I sort. Do you know how many rotten apples out of 185 people? A lot. Like 150 were rotten ones, real rotten. Some are really bad. So what did I do? I tossed them so fast. I don't even recall what they said. At the time it was so bad, I said, adios, bye, go next one. But a lot of people, they don't understand the power in the numbers. It's not what these 17 people did, but it's whom they led me to. It's not what some of them did. I brought one of the person that brought me to Tina. It's not what he did, but he led me to Tina. He's a great guy. He made a ton of money in that company. But he led me to Tina, led me to a whole bunch of people in China. And so it's not what they do, it's who they lead you to. So that's why when you work your business, you got to pick the ones that are good, you chase them. When the momentum's hot, what you do, when you strike an iron, the iron's hot, guess what you do? You strike it. A lot of people, when your business is up, they take a vacation, they go spend their money. Don't do that. When the iron's hot, you strike it. You go, you know what? I have a business friend, and he said the best. He goes, you know what? Life is like a steering wheel. Some are good, some are bad. He goes, when it's good, I'm going to get a big nail. I'm going to nail it in there so it won't go back. Just when it's good, you got to really give it all you got because this is your chance. One time I asked my friend, I said, hey, you know what? I said, what would you do if you're making $30,000 a month? And back then, $30,000 a month is a lot of money. He goes, oh, I'll take a vacation. I'll take this and that. I said, listen, that means your momentum's up. You need to really, really ride it. Because in business, you don't know when to go down. You don't know. You only take the best of it and run with it. Okay? Overcoming obstacles. Along the way, as you're talking to people, will we have challenges? 100% guarantee. Will there be difficult times? 1,000%. The difference is, what do you do when you're down? Most people will stay down with it. You know what? Most people say, when the group was thriving or when they once had that big glory, they kept living on the past glory. Get over it. People say, well, what would people say about me? My team died. Get over it. This is now. We're dealing with now. I can't do anything about the past. I can't do anything about the future. But I can deal with what we got now. If you can't drop your ego about your past success, you know what? The past success may be a one-time luck. The past success may be a one-time gig. But if you are as good as you think you are, you're going to stand up and you do it one more time. See, people say, I believe, I want it. You know what? Most of you have not crossed the edge. You're going to gone beyond that edge if you want it. If you, look, how many of you can really feel, how many of you feel good to get a $40,000 check? What would you do? I tell you, many years ago, when I got involved in industry, they told me the average income for that company of an RVP was 30 grand a month. And I remember in my thoughts, in my head, I said, you know what? 30 grand a month. I said, forget about getting a month, every month. If they give me one check, one time for 30 grand, that will help me solve a lot of problems. How many relate to that? Yes. Yeah. It is a huge, these things now become a number to me. Don't get me wrong, it's a huge blessing. This is a huge blessing. What kind of business gives you that kind of return? But see, everybody wants it. But are they willing to do what it takes? See, this is something that it's a very fine line. We have to really tweak it. You have to really, really, really get it. I want it. I want to change my life. I want it. I want it. But when the very first time a challenge, you get knocked down, you stay down, and that is it. Then what happened to your dream that you once wanted? What happened to that thought you once had it? Listen, money, people, things, material, people can take away from you. But one thing they can't take away from you is right between your two ears. If you're strong, you know what you want out of life, don't let anyone talk you out of it. Don't let nothing. You just got to get to that point of no return. When you get to that point, you have crossed a boundary, you have crossed a line, you said, this is it, this is what I want. And I want to say this, and I don't want to come off the wrong way. I have a very, very, very loving family. I have 3 sisters. And all 3 of them were opposing me to the max. The word opposing is an understatement. They opposed me of doing MLM for many, 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 many years, to a point where they will call me every day to tell me to quit. Every day. If my older sister were here, and one of these days at the event, she would tell you, you know what, my sister, that poor kid, I only wish she would quit. Because she would call me every day to tell me to quit from Hong Kong. Every day. At 3 o'clock in the morning, I know it was her. And until it gets to a point now, she's a wonderful, loving person. But she did that based on, she thought she was caring for me. She thought she wanted the best for me. Because her experience with MLM wasn't that good. But she thought she had experience when all she did was had maybe like one meeting of a water filtration company. She didn't even join. Okay, so it was maybe that one incident. So she based her whole perception about MLM and every day trying to talk me out of the game. It wasn't until the day I told her, listen, if you do not have anything good to say about my business, about my dream, about my goals, my journey that I chose, please don't call me anymore. You can call me about anything else, but don't say anything about what I do. See, I had drawn the line. Until you draw the line, then you become successful. You have to get good at it. See, many people in their mouth, they say, I believe in Jeunesse. I believe the product. I believe in Jeunesse. I believe I can make money. And yet they're not making the money. You know why? What you say, what you think, and what you do are two different things. When you say you want it, you want to be successful, you want to retire your job, you want to retire your husband, you want to walk away from your job, if you really want it bad enough, you know what? You're going to put massive action behind what you say. Then things will happen. You got to get over your own fear. Because you know what? What stops most people is our own fear. We worry about this. We worry about what people say. We worry about that. There's too many things to worry about. You ask me, you know, some of you, if you hang around me with my sisters, I'm the most quiet one in my whole family. Some of them, out of their kindness, they think they're very fashionable. They will laugh at me what I wear. This don't match, the color don't match. Do I give a dime? No. I said, this is me. I think it looks great on me. And I move on. But some people go, oh, maybe they're right. Maybe I need to change this, I change it. You got to be you. And you got to face your own fear. Don't worry about what other people say. Listen, will other people say this is a scam? Will other people say product don't work? I can guarantee you 1,000%. You got to be firm in what you want and you face your own fear. Look, if you have no more Walmart, talk to Co-Market. But you're not going to recruit a Co-Market right away. You strike a conversation, find out what they need, and you go from, you know, like playing baseball, from first base, second base, you go from base to base. Learn about them, and you know what, eventually you're going to start building. You got to get good at bringing people. You got to get good at talking to people. If you talk to nobody, there's no way you can build a business. You must, by always attending meetings, not going to help you. You need to attend meeting with somebody. But in your learning process, while you're attending the meeting, you can learn. You can grow from it. You get good at it. But you got to get good at also inviting people. Okay? Now, another thing very important. So, overcoming obstacle. We all have it. The biggest obstacle that we have to overcome